Hey, this is ThinkerThunker. Here are some quick animal impressions of mine. Here's one of those dogs that's down at the end of the block late at night. It just won't shut up. Here's a little yipper. Here is a basic like mountain lion or wildcat or bobcat. Raven? So, no, I haven't lost my mind yet. I did those for you to illustrate that while I'm no pro at mimicking animals, I'm at least decent. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can mimic a Bigfoot. The one that the Sasquatch Ontario guys record, and I'm gonna see how close I can get, and if I can mimic it, what would that mean? Stick around. All right, so here we go.
Robert, brother, Robert, brother, Robert, brother.
Now, if you couldn't guess, this is me over here on the left, Sasquatch Ontario on the right. So we'll listen again, one more time.
Robert, brother, Robert, brother.
All right, that is enough of that. Did I nail it? One more time.
Robert, brother.
No, I didn't nail it, but I got pretty close. So does that mean that this has to be a hoax? If a human can make this sound? Well, no, I can't say that at all. But here's the first thing interesting I noticed. When I get to the Bert part, listen.
Robert.
My voice is pretty consistent all the way through.
Robert.
I couldn't go any higher on the Bert, but listen to Sasquatch Ontario.
Brother.
The Bert gets really loud. Here we go.
Brother.
So much so that, look, their recording goes off the top up here. It clipped. It literally blew out. Now, that doesn't mean it's a Bigfoot, again, necessarily. It just means that whoever's voice this is, it's a pretty amazing voice, and that it could just dig in and get that much louder. So let's take this look. Now, some of you might know this as a sonogram or a spectrograph or a spectrogram, but it's what sound looks like. And again, here I am over here on the left, and this is, we're seeing two of these. This is a left channel and a right channel. So here we go.
Robert, brother.
Now, we record or measure sound in hertz. So if you look over here, see this 1K here? Everything below that is measured in megahertz. And everything 1K and above is thousands of hertz or kilohertz. So I'll give you some samples. Here's low frequency stuff around 600K or less. Now, that's low rumbling stuff like jet planes, trash trucks, trains, Harleys blaring by, rattling your window panes. And if we go up here around 4,000K, that sounds like a cricket, right? So there you go. Crickets all along have been saying Robert. They've been trying to tell us Robert, and we just don't know why yet. I'm kidding, of course. But here's what I found interesting about this. Looking at my voice, if I select this region here, oh, and by the way, yellow means a more intense, a hotter, louder signal, and purple is practically no sound, and black is no sound. So my voice, starting around 4,000 kilohertz up to close to 7,000 kilohertz, quit producing sound, where surprisingly, Sasquatch Ontario, and there's still a pretty hot signal up here. Let's listen. Hear that? And then if you look up here, what is that? Say around 11,000 kilohertz and up, my voice stops producing any sound at all, where their Sasquatch Ontario is still surprisingly hot. Let's listen to that. Now, I'm listening on some pretty good headphones, I don't hear a thing for me, and I only hear a slight tinkling sound for Sasquatch Ontario. But here's what's surprising about that. Humans only hear a certain range, which means our vocal cords only produce a certain range. I mean, anything more would be wasteful, right? Nature generally doesn't work that way. So it seems odd that Sasquatch Ontario's voice just kept producing a hotter signal way up here in the high supersonic kilohertz. And by the way, I pointed out that they got so loud that their voice clipped, broke off. That's what this region is. That's where it quit recording. So Sasquatch Ontario's voice could have kept going even higher, which I'm no expert on this, but it seems surprising to me. Now, we know other animals like dogs can hear sounds much higher than us and maybe much lower. And we know, say, elephants, whales, and even tigers can hear much, much lower. ULFs, ultra low frequencies. And they say elephants can communicate using ULFs over great distances. And that's why their feet are even shaped the way they are and have that fatty, spongy tissue on the bottom, because their feet, they're on the ground, can actually pick up ULFs from other elephants great distances away. And they say whales using ULFs can even communicate maybe even around the globe. So really amazing. And even some animals, they suspect tigers can use ULFs to stun or confuse prey. And we know dolphins can, using sonar, they can sound blast their prey and eat them. So where I'm going with this is there are some that believe Sasquatch, Bigfoot, use ULFs as well. And we hear reports of people being in forests, and suddenly, for no reason, they become confused, disoriented, nauseated, and they claim to feel a sound in their gut, like reverberating in their gut, like they were being bombarded by sound. Now, we know our government and other governments are developing sound weapons and have developed. So it's pretty amazing to think about. So here's what I wish. I know there are guys going out, field investigators, using microphones to record or try to record Bigfoot sounds. Well, our microphones, most microphones, only record closer to what humans can hear. So you guys going out there with these microphones, you might be losing a ton of information. Like here on the Sasquatch Ontario, and now I'm only speculating here, but had this been recorded with higher quality microphones, and they're going to cost, but had they been recorded with higher quality, we might be seeing a ton more activity going down, who knows how much further, and going up further. Now, would that mean that it's a Bigfoot? Well, if other humans aren't producing sounds like that, using up all of those higher and lower frequencies, it's at least very interesting. And now here's where I wish I could say, well, I've got 5 other people who also did this sound, and we could see if their voice filled up higher frequencies more than mine, or could do what Sasquatch Ontario did. But I don't know anybody who can make this sound. And by the way, I didn't even try. I didn't want to go up, strangers on the street, hey, can you inhale and say Robert at the same time? And by the way, that's how you do it. So if any of you guys have good recording equipment, try doing this. It would be interesting to see, again, if your voice can fill up as much frequency as Sasquatch Ontario. And I wish we could have some experts out there weigh in on this, because I am no expert on sound. But are there any experts out there on non-human vocal cords? I can't even say it. And what or how non-human vocal cords would perform? If there are, please shed some light on this. So, is Sasquatch Ontario hoaxing us with all this stuff? I don't know. You know, now that we look at it this way, it's at least interesting. Whoever they've got doing this, they've got some pretty amazing vocal cords. So there you go, guys. That was our first closer look at sound, or a closer listen. And I hope to do more of these. See all of this out here. That is just noise. And these recordings, I can clean up a lot of the noise. So I want to take some alleged Sasquatch screams and howls and clean those things up and give us a really good listen and see what we're hearing, and take a look at the frequencies and see what we've got there. So now, your time to weigh in. Can you make the sound?
Robert! Brother!
And if you can, put it out there. It would be interesting, again, to see if your vocal cords fill up and use as many frequencies as Sasquatch Ontario. So that's all I've got. Thank you, guys. Please subscribe. Please share my videos with your friends. Please like and comment. All of that stuff really helps me. And thank you guys so much who click on the little support ThinkerThunker thing and contribute. I appreciate it so much. Take care, everybody. And I'm going to leave you with this spectral pitch display. And if you look over here on the right, you can actually see the notes that we're hitting. And if you listen,
Robert!
See how my patterns, Robert, are pretty consistent.
Robert!
But if you look at Sasquatch Ontario, you see the Robert, where it really kicks up from there.
Brother! Robert! Brother!
And last, it just seems odd to me that Sasquatch Ontario's recording could be so hot on all the different frequencies, where I'm only really hot in just this one little area. So here we go.
Robert! Brother! Robert! Brother! Robert! Brother!
It's just really
Robert!
complex
Brother!
sounding.
Robert! Brother! Robert! Brother! Robert! Brother!